Okay, excellent. So I have all the things, just getting my ducks in a row, getting my ivy untangled. Welcome everybody to the Days of Ivy. There's a bit of a different flavor from the Days of Bramble. I quite loved the Days of Bramble, although they did take their toll. I did get stuck in the bramble a few times when going to feed Vinny. Zephyr had a few bramble chunks taken out of his leg, which happens when he goes and walks on the dunes. But now we are entering into the Days of Ivy. So just a couple of images to start with. Let me see if I've got it here. Always the Karen Cater Ogham sketchbook. So she says here, Ivy, GORT, what it is, the letter G, element of water, planet is Saturn, the bird is the swan, because of what the name of it is in the Irish. So looks like it's a little fuzzy, but that's her beautiful image there. And you can see, oh yes. So particularly this, seeing how the wheat is there, but the ivy being used to bind it. And this is the image from the Celtic lunar zodiac. Awful lot going on in that. And so Helena Patterson aligns Ivy with the archetypal character of IORWG. So, and the last one, of course, is from the Pewterprocanic. And it looks a little blurred, but you can see the swan and the sacred stones in the background, a little bit of a sunrise in the background. If I was a phone that had music on it, where would I be? So I'm going to start with our poem from the Celtic tree calendar, guide into connecting with Ivy, with an image up on the screen. And then we will come out of it with a poem from Bathing in the Fae's Breath by the Woodland Bard. You know what? I need to stop that for a moment because you're going to need that. There we go. So just focus on your breath and gaze at the ivy. And this is the poem for the 11th moon, according to the Graves calendar. We're doing the meditation according to Yuri Leitch's Om Grove. So Ivy shows up at a couple of different times. So the poem starts actually with a snippet from a poem from Rabindranath Tagore, which is, I believe, an author of another poem, an Indian poem. The tree is a winged spirit released from the bondage of seed, pursuing its adventure of life across the unknown. So gathering and casting the woods for you, I look for connections and linkage, for ways to tap into the genetic life stream, its ley lines, its geomantic energy, and images of labyrinths appear in the Gorm blue sky, showing me the ways you have wandered, searching for the self in sunlit stone circles, in starlit youth and age, in the valley of fire and sacred Machu Picchu. You are the rustling ivy, nestling through cracks and crevices, ambling, thriving in fertile ground, in rubble or stone. You spiral dance through life, turning inward, intertwining, returning outward to be part of the labyrinthine journey of others on the path. Never binding, never clinging, never giving up or regressing, swaddling your loved ones, extending your influence. And now we trace your intricate motif in air, in stream, on grass, with a magical forefinger to prepare ourselves for down-driving soul excursions on peaty trails where your patterns become initiation graphs and guide us through this shedding moon. And still you unfold with whispers of children and grandchildren at your roots and gush into flowers for autumn bees. So breathe into that place. Allow your gaze to soften as you look at ivy and just see that expanse, how it creeps across the ground and up the tree, entwining and circling. So breathe your heart openness to connect with the energy of ivy, the energy of GORT. And be open to what this Ogham tree has to share of wisdoms at this time. And the woodland bard, in bathing in the phase breath, assigns the perspective of trusting to GORT, the ivy, becoming aware of our unseen spirit guide, sounding the second note of the third Acme. And so his poem, and he says that the fourth verse is an adaptation of a Charles Dickens poem. Don't let love fade away and make us all islands, never charted, never enchanted, dissolved into the sea, not to be seen again. Connected invitation, the mankind of creation binds us as a nation, as guests on this world. Love, expectations, unity, celebrations, faith, integrations, one strong binding. Love is unfurled. Oh, a dainty plant is the ivy green that creepeth o'er ruins old. Fast she stealeth on, though she wears no wings. And a staunch old heart has she, how closely she twineth, how tight she clings, sharing love with any willing tree. Whole ages have fled, and their works decayed, and nations have scattered been. But the stout old ivy shall never fade from its hale and hearty green, binding together as king and queen. Oh, a plant of unity is the ivy green. There are a lot of things we may bond with, a lot of things to pull us back down. There may be tears, maybe pain, stops our world till we get it spinning again. A hammer may fall to test our weakness, a saw may grind to cut us and make us branchless. But together, there is always a power to heal. From cold stone to green leaves of warm feel, creeping on where time has been, a rare old plant is the ivy green. So focus once more on your breath. Take a moment to thank Ivy for sharing wisdom or journey. And as you focus on your breath, as you focus on the exhale, slowly bringing yourself back to the here and now, back into waking consciousness in your body, back into awareness of the room in which you sit. And when you're ready, open up your eyes. Welcome back. Grabbing the things around me. So, interesting meditation. I have some notes here. most of it, I think, actually is from the Karen Cater book. You know, ivy being about preservation and perseverance, transformation through persistence. The preservation is and I showed the little picture on the Karen Cater image, that the sheaf of wheat with the ivy around it is referred to as the ivy girl, the last sheaf of corn representing fertility and the food of the people, which is bound with ivy representing the preserving force. And that is carried forward. So that's sort of that Graves reflection of the timing, where ivy is aligned with the later part of the year in September. And it can be binding, restricting, holding down, subjugating, but it also overcomes enormous obstacles. And as it climbs, its leaves get brighter, simplified leaves. And the higher it goes, it bears fruit. So I had this sense, I'll share in my meditation, of I just was looking at that tree and all of the ivy around it. And I was sort of taken by this thought of like, what happens when you get to the top of the tree? And I had this image of, you know, the ivy still continuing to grow, but it doesn't have something to hold on to. Maybe at first it feels a little, because the other thing about ivy is that it's, what is it? It's the one ohm that is spineless. Doesn't have the trunk. And so it can feel a bit floppy at the top, but then it finds something else. It lands on something else, not in a parasitical way, which mistletoe does, but just to have something else as an anchor. And then I imagined it starting to weave down and weave across and weave up again. And as I was connecting with the sense of that, I really had this sense of that tree is what I have been winding around for the past, and it was connected to certain things past 25 years. That has provided something. And in that moment, recognizing that the ivy, sort of, I'm looking at the carpeting, there was that which came before. So what was all of the foundation? And I found going back and back and back and back and back in time, and having a sense of all of that which provided foundation for the ivy. And then propelling forward of recognizing, oh, this is what it's landed on now. And so this is what is continuing to provide the foundation. And that there's somehow through ivy, in a different way than perhaps some of the other trees, that it almost opens us to this time traveling, that I have access to all that which has come before. I have access to that which is drawing me forward. That it's all interwoven. And there was something in that which brought great peace as well. So just take a moment to connect with ivy, to know that we are going to be walking or winding with ivy for the next couple of weeks. And may ivy draw you into beautiful peace. She guides through the labyrinth. And that poem by the Woodland Bard about sort of anchoring that love and unity. So blessings to you all. Thank you for sharing this space. And may you have Beautiful time spent with Ivy.